reforms, import duty, flat tax, tax amnesty, and so on. Why don't I do it now? And why do I want to? I must have a manifesto, otherwise if I do everything now, if I could, what would I do when I come into office? I mean, how can you do everything now?
You know how to tell when somebody is lying? If there are people who are smooth talkers, who can speak rat-tat-tat-tat-tat like machine gun.
Dr. Bawumia, eko shia nsem kyerefo e wo moving pick hotel. Eko kyere nsem bebre mu e kyere won. Na wasa dwumadi ho nsem bi ekopue wase. Na ye pese ye na mo e ka ho asem. Sa program yi Dr. Matopoku Prempe a oye running mate Emma Dr. Bawumia no ho party chairman, party general secretary and the whole other party members now hobby. And he said sikatiche sikedie basa bi ekwas so ewochimedi no ase Captain Smart echiremu a journalist bia otunu na see ho kwesida no eko fie with an amount of 20,000. Hey, 20,000. Obi anya 20,000 eko fie for being part of that program as a journalist.
In terms of omuwie no omubayi your friends miracle bomb pa ewie ya Bawumia church ya no omuru efiwe dey omoso mua mo ba eri na mo go table no mo go sign na mo go bia nkoje
Listen, you see, listen. Mafia arahosama course on the say. What sign would you envelope na sika ni shem 20,000 Ghana cedis no. Ye ti envelope na no ye yimu we say 20,000. Ni asade ya shem no wa sign. Hwe Ghana central for mo ya mamwefo. Who could track in Pisky in less than 3 hours, 4 hours, or whatever hours you spent. Ni about 20,000, 200 million. I am saying it. Mesi me person presenters awo Ghana ha mko na mpeso bia ni nyasem. And I am ready for you and your stupidity and your nonsense and your corrupt attitude. Wo kwada wa kwaji 20,000, 200 million. Me am if you have for kan we ma wo.
apotre
What sign ni ati envelope na no ni yi 20,000, 200 cities kokono achrew ni asan kashim no wa sign. Presenters ni na no from mo efi media general ha koye muji 20,000. Mo efi multimedia 20,000. Despite group 20,000. From everywhere 20,000. What say ya boa be chance ka oje. What say ya boa be chance. Every person was giving 20,000 Ghana cedis. Are you not sick upstairs? Me see me fear half work obi agi 200 million.
Enu ti no okiremu a okwan a Dr. Bawumia kra fa so answer the question posed by Nana Yaokesi of Peace FM no. Obujen ko tie question Nana Yaokesi bisai any muaya Dr. Bawumia edema no emra na yento aso.
Is abolishing bed tax, e-levy, flat import duty, one-time tax amnesty, among others. If you really believe that that is what Ghana needs, why should we wait till you become the president and not implement it now?
Why don't I do it now? And why do I want to? I must have a manifesto, otherwise if I do everything now, if I could, what would I do when I come into office? I mean, how can you do everything now? Even President Mahama, former president, who was president, I'm only vice president, but he was president. Why didn't he do everything then? I mean, why is he coming back? He had full authority. I don't have full authority. The budget that has gone to Parliament, which has been passed, is not my budget. Is it my budget? It's not my budget. The budget goes in the name of the president. It doesn't go in the name of the vice president. But when you have to think about what new do you want to do, you come up with new ideas. And I've come up with new ideas, which I want to do when we come into office. Everyone who is running for office, whether you are Kamala Harris or you are Bawumia, you still have to think about what you have to do when you get into office. And this is why I'm presenting my new ideas.
You, Osi, we are vice president, and until no man else still now you have the power to implement some of those visions. Now, no. Now, so we say, Asema, I'm paying a bit a catcher, no, yatipa. Now, stand some way, Captain Smart Sanchez say, Dr. Bawumia, he's not on top of issues on your politician because some of the responses that he gave to some of the questions that were posed to him, no. There be.
Ebe Bawumia, when me aye. Kofi. Look. Let me be sincere. More handle Bawumia no. To be honest with you guys, sit him down and direct him. Bawumia is not a politician. That's number one. Bawumia is not a public speaker. That's number two. Bawumia onim the antics and the tactics employing specifics of mental and emotional quotients to address and win people. Napo with the same problem. Sit him down. Where is Jacob Echebilamte? Dead and gone. Where is Harun Eseku? Dead and gone. Where is Jay Kufo? Also on Kahwe. Jay Kufo to be called comedy show on MPP manifesto launch. Jay Kufo, Messi, or comedy show on MPP manifesto. Enche, 80. One wouldn't dia, yet prepare Nipano, watum. And I think there's danger ahead of the MPP. Whether you win or lose, listen, there's danger ahead of you. There's someone get careful at home. Party no, echo positioner. You will see what I'm talking about. Asante for any achimfo mi do nyame ebeche 1844 bond no. Achimfo no beka se o ma wi sika nto mo sika. Asante for so beka se ye ne do so nti ye. You will see the power of money and wisdom fighting. Where will you go?
Kelvin Taylor is a Chenadwinafa that meets the press held by Dr. Bawumia no ehun ono so Chenadwine afa ho. Kelvin Taylor chiremwa Dr. Bawumia, he's not on top of issues.
Questioner, obe answer bibia uwie pe no ma onya answer from out. Obe tum the one the answer because you see when it comes to answering questions, when it comes to governance issues, when it comes to you being a leader, you need to understand the say one answer ain't to me solve a problem, you know. That is why you need to be master of all trade. You need to be smart enough to have or be abreast of the issues. It's something about housing. You should be able to speak specifically to housing. When you're questioned about health, you should be able to speak specifically to health. When you're questioned about employment, that is what leaders do. It shows your day-to-day interaction with the people you are working with. But because Bawumia is a programmed politician, because Bawumia does not even really know what is happening in this government, the first question they asked him, Senka Omwanka stopena Ankokikan Kwasi Asama 1 hour, because he is somebody who does not even understand his boundaries. He is somebody who does not even understand how to answer questions for people to understand. He always thinks to say every opportunity he gets is about his opponent. That is his biggest mistake. It is a what study. It is not about the people. It is not about the solutions. It is not about letting you know the truth. It is always about brushing and trying to find talking point. That is it. Tonight, Sa concert for 3 hours, majority of the things he said, he repeated them like 1,200 times. We counted 968 Otrophobia kasa sanoye because they know that they have said something early on. Now they are being questioned today. I don't want to make mistake. I don't want people to say I'm a liar. So when the continues, you have to understand that he's using his second brain to try and remember the lies he said. Into 968 times. Eba, I don't know, 778 times. When you question him about responsibility, taking responsibility, he says he doesn't know. Oh, I've not heard about this. Oh, the minister will do this. It shows he came basically to do politics. He came to basically tell you are stupid. And it hurts me because as far as I know, no, I don't want to go there, but you could see some of the questions from the journalists, it was so weak and vague. Some did very well. Some basically were very on point. They were pushing for answers. And the funny thing is, about 80% of the questions Bawumia was asked, he didn't answer them. Mahamudu Bawumia did not answer the questions. He basically deliberately jumped majority of the questions because he did not have answers.
And so wow, Kevin Taylor didn't answer. Now I ask the question obisa Dr. Bawumia no Kevin Taylor answer sign aka ho asem.
So one person who say MPP phone himself Bawumia failure. You see, when Paul Ademochi was given the opportunity to ask questions that worries Ghanaians, he came to tell Bawumia, if even you lose, Sana Paul Ademochi can you? Or say, Mr. Bawumia, even if you lose, you have done your part. Who hasn't done their part in Ghana? Who hasn't contributed to the development of Ghana? Everybody has contributed. In fact, those who have contributed through healthcare. They have contributed through roads. They have contributed through better infrastructure that has saved lives and changing lives. So if you come and tell Bawumia, you know what, you have done well, even if you don't win, you are telling that your Bawumia that he has failed. Because if you are confident enough, say Paul Ademochi, you are confident enough, and he knows Bawumia has delivered, he will stand before him and say, you have delivered, and I believe you win, and this and this and that. But because they know, Paul will be by October, until he knows. And then who will be to support Paul say, Bawumia, if even you don't win, Bawumia is going into this contest thinking he will win. You are the Jandam reporter. Why are you suggesting? Why couldn't you put a question to him? What they came to do today, basically, they came to buy credits.
I know what that. John Hughes, also media general, also children say, Okwanya, journalists need to be feast, if I should be questions, any response of Dr. Bawumia, I demand, especially that of Nana Okese, you can't think far. Abusia, Johnny Hills, Johnny, any abre at church and Semunu, say, dear caution a day, and cry.
A video from Dr. Bawumia's manifesto launch for me. Play it. The launch.
To do these tax reforms, import duty, flat tax, tax amnesty, and so on. Why don't I do it now? And why do I want to? I must have a manifesto. Otherwise, if I do everything now, if I could, what would I do when I come into office? I mean, how can you do everything now? Even President Mahama, former president, who was president, I'm only vice president, but he was president. Why didn't he do everything then?
People clapped at this
issue.
A man says, if I do everything now, if I cancel e-levy now, if I cancel betting tax now, if I refuse to implement the taxation on electricity, if I do all those things now, what will I do when I become president? So it is not as if the man doesn't know what to do. He knows. But he says, if I do it now, when I come, what will I do? So if I take the suffering that you are suffering now, when I come, what would you say I have done? Is that what he's saying? I'm surprised. And people were clapping. Wow. People have been so programmed that after somebody says something, even if it is not a wise thing to say, they will clap. People have been so programmed and so positioned in that fashion that even somebody said, because what the vice president said, it's not a wise thing to say. Forgive my French. That you know what to do. You know how to do it. But you won't do it now because you are looking for your own power. And then when you get power, you will come and implement it, because if you do it now, there's nothing more for you to come and do. Are you throwing your boss, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, under your boss, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, under the bus? Really? Self-centeredness? Greed? Selfishness? Is that what we're looking for? That's not the kind of leader we're looking for now. That if you do it now, when you come and you get power, what will you do? Show your scorecard. Really? And people were clapping. People were in the room. Nobody. And that's why I keep asking, who are Dr. Bawumia's strategists? I don't believe my senior Nana Kumia would give him this kind of idea. I don't believe my senior Damboche would give him this kind of idea. If Nana Honinto used to still is with the MPP, I don't believe he would give him this kind of idea. It is the overzealous young people who are there who assume that they can teach the press how to do their job, who believe that they can teach media strategists how to do their job, who are feeding our vice president with the hogwash that he keeps spewing out.
As Abraham can say, the various social media platforms are a whole lot of comments. Now they are just to say the response given by Dr. Bawumia to the question of Nana Yaokese no say when he does all the things, so ye no money nyina sisi a sabre ye bre no so what problems in amaye oba be ye den ono so kirem so ono de oba onko honeymoon enu ti no obeso oba onya adwuma ye nti ganafo mo ha one de mo ntwen say Dr. Bawumia ba be ye president de a onim solution nyina obo so bu nyina amam Bawumia semsem wi an so na JDM John Dramani Mahama enso abekasa afa ho say the posture Dr. Bawumia azumi during the program no I said yeah opodo bi you say ni na say he was not ready, he was not on top. And the JDM so fire Dr. Bawumia for the mood that he assumed for the Meet the Press program now echo so I will moving picking no.
You know how to tell when somebody is lying. If there are people who are smooth talkers, who can speak ratatatatata like machine gun. The time when they become stammerers and they start stammering, you know they are lying. Somebody who can speak ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta like AK-47. Suddenly media encounter, I think, Ezu. Ni money G money here is etolele yawo. Ezu. The person started stammering, and you can't tell the head or tail. The fundamentals are weak, and then he went logoligi.
Now I say Dr. Bawumia what for dance because that program now course a whole lot of attacks and bashes from different angles and wetimi Asia. And you see abusia sa update here yedama mu bibia be ba Dr. Bawumia encounter yi echi no and I say ni meeting na okoshia nsem kyerefo no eho no ye be brem ewo Musika TV so. And you see bisa say whether you were impressed with the responses and let me know your view or your suggestion about the whole thing in the comment section. I am some phone na appear. The video no be see. They be ba wachi bia no. Ya de e be som.